Said I got the fish jumping up like a jack. You can go ask around, yeah, they tapped in. Yeah, when 12 put me over, I had a little setback, but we relaxed and we back in. Come and get you a P or O. I ain't win nothing less. If you do, then I'm taxing.
Welcome. Episode 2. This is our first athlete we've had on, first current athlete, not calling Coach Danny not an athlete, but current athlete. We have Illinois State University quarterback Beckham Pellant. Beckham used to train with us way back in the day with Never Settle back in Pasadena, California. So yeah, man, welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself?
It's good to be here. Nice to talk to you again after a while. Beckham Pellant, originally from Chandler, Arizona, moved out to Pasadena, California for 10 years, up until my end of my freshman year. Moved back to Arizona, sophomore year, played my high school ball there, and then went to Illinois State on a full ride. Currently in my freshman season, about to start spring ball next week, so gonna take the most of my opportunities.
Good, good. Love to hear it, man. Yeah, we're gonna get into some off-season stuff here in a minute, because I know Division One training is a little different than high school training. So, I had to look this up because I didn't remember the exact number, but becoming a Division One level athlete, for football specifically. So in the United States, the number is only 3%, 3% of all high school football players make it to the Division One level. So, what are some things that you did to become that 3%?
I'd say consistency and responsibility are definitely two of the biggest things that you want to live up to. I mean, I started training and throwing consistently, seventh, eighth grade. Whether it was just, me and my dad would go out or I'd be lifting with you, go throwing with another coach. But it starts early, you got to be on top of things, and really try and find, a good group of people, a couple of guys to train with that they'll build you up, right? They'll make you better, help you get to where you want to be in life. And then through high school, it's really um, eating right, sleeping right, making sure you're on top of your schoolwork because that really brings a lot of people down. I know a bunch of guys that they have D1 talent, but the grades weren't there, so they had to go the JUCO route or
Yep.
maybe the D3 route. So, that kills it for a lot of guys. Not saying that's the end, but it
Yeah.
definitely takes away a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your GPA in high school?
I don't
You can be
remember the
honest.
number,
You can be honest.
like 4.31 weighted. It was pretty
Casual,
good.
casual. Turned down a ride from Harvard. No big deal.
I wish,
Um,
man.
you
Great
mentioned
school.
you mentioned having a close group of guys. That's exactly what Danny mentioned too. So Danny, he's in his early 20s now, but he played, high school football, high school track, basketball. Yeah, that's super important at such a young age to find that group of people that you can grow with and people that'll pull you forward instead of people that'll bring you down. So yeah, I think that's huge. Even in the classroom too. You don't want guys around you that are going to be slacking off because then
Yeah,
you're
for
just going to
sure.
do exactly
Yeah,
what they're doing. Um, Shout out Carter Schuper for getting you
great guy. Yeah, real smart guy there.
getting you on a right path. Yeah, he's a good kid. How important was strength and conditioning training for your development as a high school athlete? And then how old when you actually started to like really lift weights? I'm not talking like shirtless push-ups in your room when you're 9. I'm talking
Right.
like in the gym grinding it out.
Yeah. I'll start with the first question. Just strength and conditioning is, I don't want to say it's everything, but it's a lot of things. It's if you can't go all four quarters of a game, you're not going to get played, by your coaches. And for me, playing in Arizona in the 6A division, which is the highest division we have, you got to be strong. You got to be, even though I wasn't pretty fast, you got to be fast, right? You got
Yeah,
to fly around. I'm
you're a
lucky as a
pocket passer.
quarterback. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I'm lucky as a quarterback where I don't need to be incredibly strong or incredibly
Right.
fast, but even arm strength, that's still weight room stuff that you can do. So being able to build up your body like that, prepare yourself for games is huge. And then as for beginning to train, my dad, he's a big fitness guy. So he would always try and, get me in in the garage with some dumbbells.
Mhm.
I hated it, to be honest. So
Paid off.
yeah, you
See, your
did.
dad is right.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look at him, he's juice, so but real program, um I'd say I started with you probably going, I think a couple times a
Going into
week.
freshman. Yeah. Going
Yeah,
into
because
freshman year, maybe.
yeah, 'cause that was during COVID. There wasn't really much going on, and so
Yeah.
we were able to get on a pretty consistent schedule with, everything else being shut down.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Hamilton High School, we went at it hard. I mean, 4 days a week, unless we were in season, then we were three. But
Yeah.
that was some pretty intense lifting at the high school level. So I think that really helped a lot.
I wanna touch on what you just said. From 4 days a week in the off season to three in season, a lot of people and a lot of people, especially parents, will say, "Oh, it's in season, so I don't want you to get hurt, so I don't want you to train. I don't want to be sore for games. I don't want to be sore for practice." How important is training in season compared to off season?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty soft if you ask me. I mean, when you're in season, like obviously you're not, trying to hit PRs,
Right.
but you're building yourself up, making sure that you're maintaining your strength throughout the season because, of course you're going to lose it. You're going hard for us, we play 12 games plus a bye week, so that's 13 weeks of just regular season.
Right.
So you got to be able to keep some of that strength, pretty long, without lifting, I guess, consistently.
Right.
We were on like a Monday, Tuesday basis, and then after that, we'd lift. Freshmen would lift on Thursday.
Mhm.
Or I'm sorry, we were Tuesday, Wednesday, and then freshmen lift on Thursday, and then we all lift on Sunday after the game. But being able to lift in season is huge because it keeps you in the right shape, and I think it really prevents injuries if you're doing it right.
Right. If you're doing it right, not going to LA Fitness and trying to hit PRs and bicep curls in the middle of the
Yeah, for
season.
sure.
Yeah, that won't do it for you. Love it. As a D1 athlete, most high school players don't understand how grueling the daily routine is of a Division 1 level athlete. I have coached those guys that have been with me in the facility and like their parents pay me to train them. So I can only be hard to a point, right? I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't be like Division 1 strength coach angry because those guys they'll get in your face. Like they
Mm,
don't care.
yeah.
They'll kick you off the team, they'll kick you out the weight room. I couldn't do that. So there's so much I could do for athletes, but I can't tell you how many guys called me when they got to like their D1 strength conditioning rooms and they were like, I am so sorry. This is 1,000 times harder
Yeah.
than anything we did before. I wish I would have listened. I wish I could go back. And I'm sure you could probably guess who those few guys are. But walk us through a day in the life of like an off-season
Okay.
day, training, diet, routine, recovery, everything.
Yeah. Today's actually a great example. It's been a day. So I woke up this morning, 5:15
Yeah.
for 6 a.m. conditioning. So
Yes. There it is.
yeah, luckily we have an indoor facility, which is super nice. Otherwise, I'd be freezing my ass off out there. But
Yeah, big time.
yeah, 5:15, head over to the indoor, start straight at 6 o'clock, warming up for about 10, 15 minutes, which is really great. I think our strength step does a great job getting us prepped for our
Mm.
workouts. And then we head into a 6 station workout where we're about 4 minutes at each station, consistent, just going. We've got a mat drill, bag drill. Uh, we do the L drill, sleds, like a four cone like box drill, and then shuttles. And you go straight through that. I mean, you hit those sled, you can't feel your legs anymore. It's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yep.
And then finish that, head down to the goal line, and your gassers, time gassers. Uh, we go 50 and back, which they suck.
Yeah.
So those aren't fun. And then after the gassers, we've got a concentration drill where,
Jeez.
yeah, we're going like we basically start up, clapping, drop into like a football stance, and then we're
Sure.
down into a bear to our stomach, roll over, all the way back up. And today was rough. We were pretty gassed today, so it took us a while. Um, so yeah, that's 7 o'clock in the morning. You're done with that. And then
Yeah.
we, as an offense, since we have spring ball next week, jump into a quick walkthrough,
Sure.
run through, 15, 20 plays, just, 70% speed, making sure everyone's good on their assignments and stuff. Then we'll just throw a couple routes, get the legs moving a little bit, get timing right. And then we'll have breakfast probably around 8, 8:30. From there, I have a little bit of time to chill. I only have one class today, which is nice. So I go to my
Nice.
physics class at 11 from 11 to 12:15. And then at 12:30, I went to treatment, grabbed a little bit of lunch in between there, got some cupping on the shoulder, and then
Nice.
had a meeting with my OC at 1:30 till about 3. Here now, started this about 20 minutes ago at 4:30, and then 5:30 tonight we got a team meeting. So
So
that's
basically, your entire day is revolved around football and revolved around training the body, fueling the body, recovering the body.
100%. The biggest thing is it's really picking windows to eat. I mean,
Yeah.
because
Nutrition is huge as an
it's
athlete.
huge. You see guys drop weight so quick. I mean, now it's a little bit easier. We got some more time off, but in season, man, it's tough.
I mean, I remember having this conversation with you when you were a young buck. It was like, hey man, you
Yeah,
gotta you gotta track your calories. You're like, what's that? But I
yeah,
feel like I'm eating so much. Like, no, you're not, man. Like you're
no,
not tracking.
no way.
You got to be able to track that because if you, like you said with weight training, it's the same with your weight overall. If you go 13 weeks without tracking calories and you're in a deficit every single day,
Yep,
you now walked into season, let's say 200 pounds on the dot. You go 13 weeks in season and you're not tracking anything, you're not lifting, you're going to lose a lot of weight. And yeah, you'll
yeah,
lose
for
a
sure.
bunch of fat. You're going to lose a bunch of fat. But at the same time, you're also going to lose a bunch of muscle. And
Yep,
then guess what? Season ends. And then you got how many months? 7, 8 until actual like game one of the following season. You got 7, 8 months to build up. But the problem is you just started from a 0 point. And
yeah,
then if you do that again, you're starting over every single year and you're not actually progressing into that cycle. So diet, nutrition, all of it extremely important. Um, we're gonna take a little bit of a spin. Um, 7 on 7. You've done 7 on 7.
yeah.
Seven on
Love
seven's
this topic.
huge. 7 on 7 is huge now, right? And a lot of people, from what I've seen, a lot of people think, same with travel ball and baseball, but a lot of people think 7 on 7 is like the only thing. Or like, oh, only, I'm only going to do 7 on 7, right? In the off season, or oh, I'll get offers based on 7 on 7. How do you feel the 7 on 7 culture right now in high school and youth sports is? Is it more positive, more negative? What's your take?
I could talk about this for days, but
I'm sure you could.
I'll start by saying I think it's totally gotten blown out of proportion. It's totally changed from what it was meant to be.
Right.
I think the hype videos are great. It's cool to be out there with your team and do all that, but
Sure.
the ski masks and the ski goggles and all that stuff,
Yeah.
it's still football to a point. So me personally, I was the guy that would show up in shorts and a t-shirt and just go throw the ball around. But
Yeah.
I do think it's beneficial. I think it's great for spread offenses.
Sure. Of
You know, especially younger guys who are just coming up and learning the plays. I think it's a great way to get the concepts down.
course.
Um, on the contrary, for quarterbacks, I think it builds terrible footwork habits, and
Hmm.
I've gone through that for sure. I mean, you go through the summer just playing 7 on 7, and you get so used to, sitting back and no one's coming at you. Got,
Right.
a full 4 seconds to throw, which is it's pretty unrealistic. In a game you probably get two, 2.5 till you're flushed.
Right.
Um, so I do think there's aspects that are good, but in general, I'd say it's taken a downward turn just with, how comfortable I guess people are getting with it. They're kind of taken away from the real sport, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. And that's the same thing Danny brought up in our first episode. And the same thing that got brought up from episode one was what Grant Caraway said, first down training, which you've worked
Love that
with.
guy. Yeah.
He said, yeah, you take 10,000 reps. If they're good reps, fantastic. But if you're taking 10,000 bad reps and then you go into padded season and you're wondering why your mechanics still suck, it's because you just took 10,000 bad reps instead of
Yep.
focusing on your actual mechanics. And then, yeah, to your credit, no wide receiver gets to run a 6 second route. It's not possible unless you're Patrick Mahomes and you're just kind of running around playing backyard
Right.
football, but that's not the name of the game. So, yeah, quarterbacks getting 4.5, 5 seconds in the pocket, it's not realistic.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah, definite. I could see the positives and negatives of it. It's the same thing with travel baseball. It's the same thing with AAU basketball. It was meant to be something, and then I think a lot of people started exploiting it. And I also think social media started to take over and was like, oh, this looks really good. The hype videos look really good. And like, yeah, it's easy to go get a hype video 7-on-7 compared
Yeah.
to actual tackle football because no one's doing those plays
Oh
in
yeah,
tackle
for sure.
football and no one's making those plays.
Yeah.
I love it. Last question. If you could go back right now, and it's the same thing I asked Danny episode one, if you can go back right now and you get 30 seconds to tell 13-year-old Beckham going into his freshman season of high school football, what would you say?
30 seconds, man. It's just first diet. I would tell myself, you know, beef, eggs, butter, milk. Just hammer it every day.
Yeah,
And some fruit. But just hammer that. And then I would tell myself, just watch and study a lot more football. Because I thought at that age, I was like, oh, I know cover two, I know cover three. But there's so many intricacies. I got to work with a guy named Chris Dreveler, played for the Jets, the Cardinals, playing in the CFL now. And when he started breaking down film, I was mind blown. I mean,
right.
like the little keys that you can pick up, it's unbelievable. So if I could pass on that information to my younger self as a freshman, man, I don't know where I'd be now. I'd be probably have an analyst job, you know.
Yeah,
I think
I
I'd
can
know so
imagine.
much. But yeah, just learn and study and eat right for sure.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, man. That's all I got for you today. I appreciate you coming on. It's been too long since we've caught
I
up.
know.
Good luck in spring ball. That's going to be
Thanks, man.
exhausting, but
Yeah.
you'll be fine. And then what's the chances you're getting some Saturdays next year?
Man, we'll see. As of now, it's me and another quarterback on the roster, and he just got surgery today, actually, on hernia.
Oh,
So it'll just be me thugging it out for spring ball. I obviously hope for the best for Tommy, but
yeah, obviously.
definitely looking forward to competition for sure.
Yeah, we always love competition, but we hate seeing our teammates go down. That's
100%.
bad. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll be praying for him to heal up soon, and yeah, we'll uh, we'll catch you in the fall then.
Sounds good, man.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. I
Of
appreciate it.
course.